kids are getting us in trouble.
So remember we had that conversation last month about when to clock in and out?
Mm-hmm.
What did we say? Remember?
Not to clock in at 11.
So that was on the 30th. You were 11, right? And then we said 5 minutes before or after your shift is the time frame, is the grace
I
period.
don't remember the 5-minute part.
Okay, well you did it for a week, and now we're back to not listening.
I clocked in early today?
Yeah, you clocked in early since the 9th of October. You clocked in
There's no
9 minutes early. What do you say?
I don't think I've been clocking in that
I
early.
have the time punches right here.
Okay.
You did it yourself. So I don't know why you.
Alright, so what is the problem? So if I'm here, how about
No. The problem is you're failing to listen, whether it is.
Yeah, I have a disability.
Understand.
I'm not here, so thank you for that. I am deaf in one ear, so you don't need to talk to me like that first of all. Yes.
We told you twice now.
Alright, but I'm just telling you, I'm just asking you to talk to me right about the hearing thing.
Deafness at all.
You just said I'm not hearing right.
Yes, I said you're not listening. I said you're not listening. I didn't say here. I didn't say here. I said listen. There's a difference between hearing and listening. You should know that. Hearing is you just hear a noise. Listening is when you comprehend what you've heard and process it. Yes, there is. So Thursday the 9th, last week, you punched in at 11:21. Why are you punching in at 11:21?
Because I was here at 11:21.
Okay, but when did you start?
11:30.
Okay, so why are you punching in 9 minutes early?
Because I was here at 9 minutes early.
Okay. And
I do it so I don't forget to clock. So if I would, but you ask me why and I'm answering. I have an answer.
That's not a valid excuse.
So say that. Don't say that that's not the reason. It is the reason.
That's not a good reason.
To
it's
you.
Not a good reason. No. To everybody. To legal.
So just clock us in then. Just like you say that we shouldn't clock out for lunch because it's supposed to be paid. And now now it is.
No, it's been.
No, we have our time cards. Now it's getting paid.
No, it's always been paid. You can ask HR.
So just why is it not just 11:30 to 7:30?
What do you mean?
I'm literally telling you I clock in when I get here, so I don't forget to do it at 11:30.
Okay, that's not my problem. You need to clock in at your time. Does that not make sense to you?
It does not make sense to me.
Why? Okay, so you're allowed to clock in whenever you get here then. Is that what you're saying? You're allowed to clock in whenever you arrive so you don't forget.
I think I get here on time and I'm allowed to clock in for getting here on time.
No. You get here early and you clock in early and then you clock out on time, which generates unauthorized overtime. You understand this? You come in 8 minutes before you're supposed to.
So you're accusing me of wishing for 8 minutes of overtime.
No, I'm telling you, you are.
I understand that. I'm sorry. I've been clocking in 9 minutes early instead of 5 minutes early.
It doesn't matter about being sorry. I've talked to you about this before. You haven't obeyed since I came for listen. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
We've already talked to you about this. Yes.
I obey. I don't like you. You need to bring a woman in here because this is crazy.
Why would we need a woman in here?
Because you're being inappropriate and unprofessional. You're telling me that I don't hear right and I'm not obeying.
I didn't say here. I said listen. So don't even go there.
Okay.
You're not obeying the rules. We spoke to you about this before. You're not obeying it. Now you're giving me an attitude because you can't.
You're giving me an attitude. You're starting with an attitude.
I asked you to do something and you haven't done it. You did it for 3 days, 4 days, and then you went back to whatever you were doing. So I'm just confused on why you don't listen.
I'm confused about a lot of things here. We're not getting lunch. We're coming back from going to Connecticut and having lunch at 6:30.
Okay, that's
All
not
right,
up to
I'm
me.
just
I'm not
saying,
there when
it's a
that's happening. That's the manager.
Mhm.
I put your lunch, posted your lunch yesterday. I posted it today for you. So I don't
Yeah,
know why
after
that's
I
a big
complained
issue.
about it,
They didn't complain about me. I just
but I
brought it
did complain about it to somebody.
up. Okay.
All right,
That
all
has
right.
to do
So
with-
I'm clocking in. I clocked in at the wrong time.
No, that's not the point. The point is you aren't listening to our instructions, which are clock in. You have a 5-minute grace period, 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. You cannot clock 9 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 7 minutes before. And if you do, you need to clock out 7 minutes early. So
well, that's what I've been trying to do, and there's no way for me to see when I clock in so that I clock in at the exact 8 hour. I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to clock out early.
How do you not see when you're clocking in?
It doesn't show that. It just says how many hours. It doesn't say the time you clock in.
You clock in.
Yeah, but it doesn't show on the app what time we clocked in. It just says clocked in. So I don't remember what time I clocked in to clock out at exactly 8 hours.
What?
I don't. Exactly what I said.
You should know exactly when you clock in.
I'm not looking at it. I just pressed the button. I'm not looking at the time. I'm here. I pressed the button.
Okay, well then there lies the issue right there. You're not looking. You're not paying attention. You just clock in whenever you want and you clock out whenever you want, and that's
I'm here. I see the clock in the car. I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm on time.
Okay.
I'm just saying that. All right. I tell you that I don't want to forget to clock in. That is a real thing. But the other thing is
that's your issue.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I understand to do the 8 hour thing, and I'm telling you it doesn't tell me what time it is to clock out early and like at the right minute.
Okay, so keep a tracker of your time. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
No, these aren't acceptable excuses. You said you got mad about reasons, so I'll use the word excuse instead. These are not acceptable excuses. Saying you don't remember or you just came in early and you wanted to clock in so you didn't forget, that's not a valid reason. Because there's rules in place that everyone else is held to, saying you have 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. That's your grace period. Not 7 minutes before, not 9 minutes before, not 8 minutes before. What you're doing is you're accruing overtime because you clock out at 7:30, 7:27, whatever it is. You clock out on time, but that doesn't matter since you clocked in early. If you're clocking in early, you need to clock out early. If you're clocking in late, then you got to ask us.
All right, if I was trying to get overtime, I would clock out at 7:30, knowing that I clocked in early.
I don't care whether you want overtime. I don't care what the underlying motive is. The real reason is because these numbers are up here, 8.5 hours, 8 hours and 37 minutes, 8 hours and they're gonna ask me why does she have this many minutes of overtime at the end of the month? What am I gonna say? Because she can't keep track of her time. She can't clock in at a reasonable time and clock out at a reasonable time within the time frame. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So. Let's see. And we've talked about this too. I have the email right here from Corey saying on the 30th of September, we had a documented conversation with you about working your scheduled shift. There was at least 3 instances where you punched in 30 minutes early. Now, granted, it's not 30 minutes early, but it's still the same problem. It's still 9 minutes early, 8 minutes early, 6. It's not. None of it is in the time frame. As soon as we go back to Thursday, it's like we didn't even have a conversation. Thursday, clocking at 11:21, clocking out at 7:30. Friday, you're clocking at 11:22, clocking out at 7:30. And going into the current pay period. Saturday, you clock in at 11:22 in the morning, 8 minutes before, and then you clock in 3 minutes after. You clock out 3 minutes after you're supposed to leave. So right there is 8 plus 3 is 11. That's 11 minutes right there in one day. For what? Because you couldn't pay attention. So, fortunately, we'll have to get HR involved in terms of behavioral. So what I'm going to do is suspend you for today pending investigation, and we'll get back to you on what we find in the investigation, all right?
What does that mean? What are you talking about? So bring HR in right now.
Why?
Because what are you're suspending me for what? For clocking in early? You make no sense. I don't keep track of the time.
That's your issue right there.
No, you're not suspended. Bring them in right now. Bring them in today.
No, you were suspended.
Bring them in today. That makes no sense. You don't suspend someone. I went to training for a full week at the airport. I know exactly how it works. None of these people did, and neither did you. But I don't care. I did the training. So that's not how it works. That's not how the suspension works.
I had a documented conversation about this before.
You didn't email me.
Why would I email you?
Exactly. You didn't document shit with me. So call them in here now.
No, that's not how this works.
That is how you don't get to make up your own rules. You don't get. Yes, you are. You're not gonna sit here and play games with me because you think you know me well enough. That's not gonna happen. So call them in now. Because you don't. Because you don't. You don't. But you can call them in now. But you can call them in now. You can call them in now. What are you gonna have me sign? What are you gonna have me sign?
You don't need to sign anything. You're suspended pending investigation.
No, and I said no. So call them in now.
If you say no, then I'm getting people to.
That's what I'm asking you to do.
No, not HR. I'm getting people.
But you're saying that HR is going to do it. You're saying that you need to involve HR.
No. I'm saying I'm suspending you pending investigation. HR will open the investigation, look through it, see what they've had for documented statements, the time punches themselves, and then they'll get back to you. If they find that this investigation,
I'm going from here to the airport.
For what reason?
Because that's where I trained at. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get all the records. Yes, I am.
The records are here, Elena.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. You know they're not.
How do you know?
Because you're playing with people's time and money. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because I can sue, and it's crazy.
For what?
Because you're playing with the wrong person.
You haven't explained why you could sue. You just say
yes, because why are you suspending somebody for clocking in 9 minutes early? I can sue because you're playing. You think you're playing games with someone you don't know.
Playing with you isn't about.
You just sat here and told me that I don't hear correctly and I'm not obeying.
I said you don't listen. Yes, you don't obey orders. You don't obey rules. You don't listen to the rules.
Okay, and you know that I'm a disability employee who's deaf in a left ear.
We sat you down.
Absolutely not. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. You should be suspended pending this hearing, not me.
No.
Yeah. I think
you're
hearing wrong. I think you think someone's talking to you who isn't.
No. So listen, you're suspended. Take all your things, leave, and HR or myself will be in contact with you when you can return, if you can return.
Right? Call them in now because I'm going from here to the airport.
You can go from here to the airport. That's not going to work out for you. I don't know what you think's at the airport that's going to help you.
All my records from the training, and for them to tell me how, and then they'll call and tell you.
File is here.
Just call. No, it's not. Just stop making shit up. No, it is not. This is barely a real place of employment.
Then why?
Because I'm supposed to be at the airport.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I suggest you refrain from saying anything else going on forward. You don't know what you're
talking about. You said that you're going to call HR to do it, so call them in.
Wants to be a bitch, so.
What is her name? Bria, so call her in.
Isn't
she at the airport? I can go from here to there.
By all means, call her.
Exactly. So why can't you do that? How old are you?
I don't have to do that. I'm in charge here. I don't have to do that.
This is ridiculous.
What's ridiculous is you can't follow instructions. That's what's ridiculous. You constantly and continuously accrue micro overtime for no reason. And you can't listen.
I have the time cards right here. That it's a lie.
I have the time cards right here.
And I have my pay stub. That's a lie. And you still haven't paid me for my first week of working here.
Regardless if that's true or not, that's not even me. That's HR that you're so.
Exactly. I wasn't paid for a whole month, and I still haven't been paid for my first week of being here.
I doubt that's.
It's true. You can call Connor in because we went back and forth over it. I wasn't paid for a month from working here, and I still haven't been paid for my first week, which Deshaun should be on.
Okay, well, that's something that you talk to HR.
Exactly. So call them in.
I'm not calling them in. That's separate.
So what is this investigation?
They're going to open an investigation while you're suspended and see if the claim is true. The claim being you don't
So you just asked me why I can sue, and I'm telling you all these reasons.
I said, why?
And you don't care.
Because you're messing with the wrong person. That's
correct. All these wrongs have been against me.
I'm suing because.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can say whatever I want in court. I'm in court right now. I say whatever I want right now.
That doesn't mean it's going to hold any value or weight.
It obviously does.
It's not going to.
It obviously does.
Besides, this whole other pay issue is separate from this. This is the operation. If HR screwed you on a paycheck or they haven't got back
to you, HR.
That's something that you need.
When you're the one sitting here saying that you're doing the time cards.
No, I'm not. I'm the one saying I'm watching your time punches.
Exactly.
And you're doing
so
it
you
incorrectly
would
after
be in charge of that.
Without doing it correctly.
So you know that I wasn't paid for a month after being here, and that I wasn't paid for my first week here.
You disobey the rules while knowing them. I know all this stuff about you, Elena. I don't care about the payroll stuff. That's HR and their paycheck cut to you. They told me they took care of everything. So if you're saying that's not true,
why would they tell you something that's not true? Why would they? Why would you have a conversation about something that doesn't exist?
What do you mean doesn't exist?
You just said you doubt that's true. Why would you have had a conversation about it if it wasn't true? Why are you having a conversation about a week that I wasn't paid and a month late that I was paid?
It wasn't about you specifically. They just told me all the pays are okay. Everyone's all taken care of.
Now you knew for how many days there that a bunch of us hadn't got paid.
So what does that have to do with me?
So why don't sit here and say that they told you that everything was okay when we kept telling you that we weren't getting paid?
After, Elena, you're telling me now that you still haven't gotten paid. I'm saying I doubt that's real because HR told me back then.
But we were just for a whole month talking about we weren't getting paid.
You're talking about something that's completely irrelevant to this. You're suspended, pending investigation. You need to leave.
I'm going to the airport.
That's fine. You're not going to. Please take all your stuff. I can't have that.